before the challenge starts on track. The challenge is, can we get through the grid before the start of the race? Let's see whether we can. We'll have a look at how they line up. Pole position goes to Deagen Fairclough with Rowan Campbell-Pilling alongside Martin Molnar. P3 with Alex Ninovic next up from Jack Sherwood and Bart Harrison in 6th. 7th on the grid, Abby Pulling and Reza Seaworthen. You put Sway next from Leo Robinson. Kai Darry and Arnie on row 6 with Alex Berg. Row 7, Chloe Chong and Maxwell Dodds. Nina Gaidman is there on row 8 next to Yu Hao Fu. They're followed by James Higgins and Zach Schooler. So I think I probably put myself under pressure for no reason there at all, because as it turned out, we had bags of time. They're on the grid now.
Yeah, all good. We are going to be missing Ella Lloyd, everyone. Unfortunately, she's been able to pull out of this race. But yeah, she had an amazing round 2, didn't she, here at Knockhill, and finished 2nd earlier on. But yeah, nasty accident yesterday, which we'll probably talk about in a bit. But let's get this race underway.
So, Deagen Fairclough, championship leader, best qualifying for Rowan Campbell-Pilling alongside him here at Knockhill. The lights are on. Out they go. We're racing here. Fairclough looking for another win, a 9th win of the season he's going for. And Campbell-Pilling, I think, has been passed by
Molnar.
Martin Molnar in the 24 car. So Martin, and that's the battle of the rookies as well. So Rowan Campbell-Pilling, he's already had a podium at Brands Hatch from fastest off the front races, and he'll be keen to get past Martin. So those two will have a keen race. But again, as usual, Deagen Fairclough, superb off the start, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. He's amazing off the start. He's been amazing all season, and it looks like he's already got this win in the bag, as long as there's no penalties and no issues for him. But yeah, look at that, still trying to get a bit of heat in the tyres. As you can see him just weaving down the back straight, making sure that you don't lock up. As I say, they all lock up as you come into the hairpin. That's one of the Rodin cars, 2 of the Rodin cars that locked up there. And now you can see Seaworthen is all over the back of Pulling there, coming up the hill over the start finish for the first time. And you can see another CDR car getting inside of Sherwood. He's not quite got that one down the inside, but back on board with Seaworthen. As you can see, coming into turn 3, just getting the car rotated nicely on the run up into 5th gear through the chicane, blind chicane. They try and avoid that big red sausage curve on the right there. Let's have another look at the restart.
Yeah, decent start, wasn't it, by the pole position man. That's why you earn your pole, particularly at tracks like this. And Deagen Fairclough, who was continuing the business he had before the couple of away days we had. Rowan Campbell-Pilling actually started moving quite quickly, but Martin Molnar, who's turning into a bit of a star in this championship now, he's finding his feet in this championship. Virtuosi putting good results together, and that's Jamput Sway having a look at Reza there.
Yeah, you can see, I don't know what happened with him and Pulling on the lap before, but yeah, he's now under pressure from Shui there. So they were battling hard in race 2 this weekend, but yeah, it looks like who have we got? We've got Campbell-Pilling, who's also got back up into 2nd, so he's past Molnar and now pulling away, chasing down Fairclough.
Yeah, so Campbell-Pilling as opposed to Pulling, which is very easy to make this differentiation between the two. Has got up into P2, had a podium at Brands Hatch, in fastest off the front, not reverse grid. Here's a replay, Phil.
Oh, what a late move that was. He thought about it, and then he just decided to commit to it, fully locked up. I think Molnar saw that one coming and just dived out of the way. So good bit of driving from the pair of them there to make sure they didn't have any contact.
Absolutely right. Yeah, Molnar could have pulled across on him and they could have both been out of the race, but that was really good, sensible stuff. And Campbell-Pilling, who is very much on a 2-year course, he tells us, with this championship. We expect to see him back next year without the rookie plate, and he'll be a real contender for next year's overall title if he does come back.
Look at this Vortec battle here. You've got Diane, Arnie, Berg and Gaidman all fighting away in the red and white machines as they now come through the chicane. They obviously want to be making sure they're trying to work together to try and get further up the grid, because they are at the minute in 12th, 13th and 14th, all running quite wide there through Clark Curve, all trying to stay off the green, which is the track limits.
Nina Gaidman at the back has been getting closer and closer in times to her teammates now. Makes the move here on Berg, who is a race winner, remember, reverse grid race winner, Alex Berg. And Nina Gaidman, the lady from the Netherlands, has just made that pass. Well done, Nina. She's been up close to getting podiums in the rookies as well.
That was a good move, considering she was trying to overtake, but also not run into her other teammate, who was another place ahead. So lots of battling here as we come down the hill here.
It's Max Dodds, isn't it?
Yeah, Dodds
inside run
has been, and Robinson Chong as well. Oh, is it Chong? Is it
the 11 car's Chloe Chong? Yep. So Dodd's trying to work his way. Here's a replay of that move from Nina Gateman. Look at that.
Oh, that nearly took the front wing off, didn't it? But that was either a bit of luck or very precise driving.
It's one of those ones where you do it well, you're a hero, and if it goes wrong, oh, Clark of the course.
Yeah. Back on board again with our camera car as Reza Seaworthen comes through the hairpin, trying to get that run. It's so important to get the car rotated, but not stay on the brakes too long to be able to get a nice punchy exit out of the hairpin, because it's all uphill until you start coming back down again into turn one, trying to get over the inside curve there, down into third gear, rotate the car once again. This looks like a good run here as we go up into fifth gear through the chicane. Again, like I said earlier, you've got to avoid that big sausage curve on the right now, and then they come up to Clark Curve to try and get another good exit, because it's the best overtaking place is this next corner, which is the final corner, the hairpin, where you can make lots of places throughout the race as long as you're brave enough on the brakes.
The onboard shots are so good, aren't they? Give you the real feel of the speed out there on the fast part. This is the slowest corner on track. When you watch it from the outfield cameras, it doesn't look pedestrian, but it captures to catch everything, it looks slower.
Yeah.
But it is so quick, particularly if you stand on the pit wall.
It's when you walk it, it's when you walk the circuit and you try and walk up through the last corner. It's so steep, you only appreciate it when you sort of try and walk up the hill, and you'll realise that actually you don't want to be on the brakes too long, because the car will just stop as soon as it hits the face of the hill. As we see here, we've got Schooler, who's trying to make up some places.
Alex Berg, isn't it?
Yeah, Berg's in front of Schooler for 14th and 15th place.
Talking about in front, we've got our leader then, Deagen Fairclough, who, you know, does himself a lot of favours by winning. He's looking for win number 9 in the championship at the moment, but TV coverage-wise, if you disappear in the distance, you're not going to be following you, because maybe the start, probably definitely the last lap when you come through, but other than that, we're going to be watching for the battle. So Fairclough can be forgotten sometimes in the coverage, which is a little bit of a pity, but he's away. Unsurprisingly, has got the fastest lap as well as we go back with Rez.
Yeah, again, coming into turn one, they try and use a bit more of the pit lane exit just to open up the corner, and then use all the inside curb as well, just to sort of open it as much as you can. There is a few issues with track limits around here, but the focus is through the chicane and Clark Curve this weekend. But yeah, you can just see Berg just running a little bit wide. They missed the apex and ran a little bit wide into the gravel, so he might be under pressure from Schooler in a second. But yeah, it's a great shot as they run through the chicane there. It's a blind corner. This one's also blind. As you turn in, you've got to be fully committed and try not to, at the same time, try not to run wide on the exit.
Absolutely right. That's what they've got to try and avoid. Berg now doesn't want to be defensive. He'd rather crack on and try and get back on terms with Nina Gateman and Kai Darianani, who are up there. You can see Kai at the moment has got bragging rights for the Fortec team, if you keep score of who the various inter-team winners are. So it looks like Darianani's going to grab one there, perhaps.
He was unfortunate to not get a podium in race 2 this weekend with a track limits issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, great shame for Darianani in race 2, but I think he finished 5th or 6th. But yeah, look at this corner, blind as you're turning in, and you're trying to get to the apex. There we go, trying to get the exit now to get slipstream on the back of the car in front to see if there's any way of just a last-minute lunge. You can see Seaworthen just showing his nose, probably a little bit early, but now it's important to get the exit, as you can see up the hill, not use too much of that inside curb. And you can just see, he just can't quite get the punch off that corner. As you can see what a big gap he's got. Yeah, now he's defending there.
He did a bit of weaving, didn't he? Was that to defend?
That was to defend,
yeah.
Yeah. It looks like he's run a bit wide there. He's going to have to give that place back. I hope there's no contact as they turn into turn 3. But yeah, good bit of driving between those guys. Yeah, that was Shui who, I think he might have even nearly lost a place there.
Yeah, rejoins in front of Robinson to Shui. Robinson, who won race 2 earlier in the day. His second win in the form, his second reverse grid win. As I say, perfectly happy to take that. And his next target, of course, having done that, will be overall podium and overall wins. Here's the view.
So yeah, you could see actually going into the last corner, he was trying to defend rather than pass the car in front. But look at that, he's just kept it nice and tidy and stayed out of the way of the car coming back on. So great bit of driving from Seaworthen just to not lose a place and not lose too much time.
Here's our leader, Deagen Fairclough. So 8 wins, 2 second places, 3 third places, 90 points, 90 points clear of Alex Ninovic, who's having a very lukewarm weekend. I mean, he's in 4th place, he's on good points here, Ninovic, but none of them can do anything about Deagen Fairclough at the moment.
No, 90 points in front as well at the minute. That's crazy, isn't it? That's a big old lead. He's going to win this before the end of the season if he carries on like this. But you can see there, Higgins just having a big move down the inside there.
Robinson.
Of Leo Robinson as well. So great drive from Higgins after an awful qualifying where he didn't do many laps after going off.
Broke his weekend off, didn't it? Totally.
It pretty much did.
Yeah.
So up to 11th for Higgins now.
Bart Harrison's good, the 77 car just coming towards the bottom of the screen in the lone Chris Dittman racing car. Chris Dittman have had a few other drivers coming in. We had some F1 Academy drivers joining the grid at Zandvoort, and he had some teammates, but this guy's done a very good job on his own in the team for the majority of the year. Yeah,
it's tricky, not having teammates to share data with. It's very difficult to improve as much as you'd like to. You've got the likes of the Hitech and the Rodin teams that have got lots of cars. Obviously, Hitech only down to 2 for this weekend, but there's quite a few teams with lots of drivers that can just share data, share video, all try and sort of learn from each other and improve as much as possible.
Abby Pulling closing in on at the moment. Abby had another second position to add to her race win that she had at Brands Hatch. That was at Zandvoort in the reverse grid race, so still racking up some good points is Abby, the most experienced driver on the grid this year, and of course doing so well in the F1 Academy, and you know, good for her to be out here racing and a bit of a benchmark for the other drivers. Remember, she had a set to, didn't she, Roman Belinsky, if I remember correctly here?
I think you're right, yeah.
I hope Roman's recovering well. I had a nasty incident a few weeks ago, so sending him our very best wishes.
Yeah, hopefully see him in FIA3 soon, but you can see this is a category for all these drivers to try and move up the ladder as much as possible. The idea is to gain points on their for their super license by winning FIA championships to try and eventually get to that top step of Formula One. But yeah, and obviously with Pulling doing the F1 Academy, it's also going to be interesting to see where she goes next. Because there needs to be either another category for her to move up to, or if she can, move up to the FIA or FIA3 or F2 categories. But she's looking good at the minute, all over the back of the CDR car of Harrison. She can't quite make her way past, but she's looking racy. She's definitely got the legs on Harrison at the minute, but I say that, she didn't quite get the exit out of turn 3 and up to the chicane, and Harrison's managed to pull away a little bit. But we've got a penalty, a 5-second penalty for track limits for car 23, which is Schooler for the XL race team.
Oh, just having no luck at all, are they, the XL team? We're just down to one car again, very sadly. I think it was always the plan that his teammate was going to do the GP circuits or the GP type circuits, yeah, which Knockhill isn't, with all due respect.
Isn't it? Okay, so we're going to maybe go on board with Reza once again and do a lap around Knockhill. As you can see, he's coming down the hill. He's going to try and open the corner up a little bit as you turn into turn 1, all over the inside curve. It's 5th gear, trying to get over back to the left-hand side as much as possible. 3rd gear, rotate the car around the apex curve, then back up to 5th. Little dab on the brakes as they go up the hill, try and get the exit without running wide onto the track limits. This one's 3rd gear as we try and get over the inside curve. It's very difficult, lots of understeer as we turn into there, making sure we don't run too wide once again, getting a good run down the back straight, picking your point, maybe like the 175-metre board where you're going to try and hit the brakes as hard as you can without locking up. 2nd gear, rotate the car, try and get the exit back up the hill, because you can see now how steep that hill is, and you're trying to get that slipstream from the car in front.
A great lap, and that was a perfect description of Seaworthy in the 4 car there. 3rd car in shot, closing in on this battle between Abby Pulling in 7th place, Bart Harrison in 6th position, immediately ahead of them. Bart Harrison in 6th is repeating for the 2nd time this weekend his best result. 6th is as high as he's been. But when you consider this is not in a reverse grid race, he's doing these in the fastest off the front races. Yep. As we go back to our race leader, there's Rowan Campbell Pilling behind. We haven't seen Rowan at all. He's in P2. Fairclough's got this big lead, 3.391 seconds. Rowan Campbell Pilling on for a personal best here for 2nd place, and Martin Molnar on for another overall podium. Wonderful to see the Hungarian driver Martin Molnar and the Virtuosi team up on podium pace. Absolutely brilliant.
Ooh, big moment there through turn 1 though, wasn't it?
Rowan said this is his favourite track.
Yeah, no, well, you can see it's been quick in all of testing. He nearly won the race, didn't he, on Saturday, which was a real shame that he got that jump start, but he's been showing some real pace this weekend, so it's really good to see for the Argenti team and Campbell Pilling. I was talking to his dad earlier, and he was saying that he really wants him to come back next year and fight for the championship, which would be great to see. But here we go, only 6 minutes left now, and we've got a big old lead for Fairclough. He's got it up to 3.3 seconds. And he's got the fastest lap of the race. Well, as we can see here, Berg and Skula running side by side as they go through Clark. That brings Max Dodds into this race as well. Are we going to see him move into the hairpin? Are we going to get a dummy to the left and dive to the right? Dodds is going to fill the gap. Can he make 2 places, or can someone go on the outside? They all lock up, but they don't make contact yet.
Oh, Dodds is coming through. Is he going to get 2 for the price of 1 here? It's about the run up the hill. Dodds is now chasing Berg. Sorry, he's on the other side of Berg. It was Skula chasing Berg as they come through, and I don't think Dodds, after all that, it was a good go, but he couldn't quite do it.
Do you know what it was? It's because Skula had the slipstream from Berg in front, which managed to keep him in front of Dodds there. Dodds had no one in front of him. He was just pushing his own air. That's why he didn't quite get past. It almost looks like he has a problem, but it's not. It's just the slipstream up the hill.
I think Nina Gateman had an issue because she was ahead, wasn't she, of Berg earlier on? Made that move on to split her 2 teammates earlier on, remember, and she's actually behind Max Dodds now. So Gateman down in 16th, and then Chloe Chong and Yu Hao Fu 17th and 18th position. Fairclough still there, fastest lap and away. Or we're being told now, oh, not again.
Campbell Pilling, a penalty, 5-second penalty for track limits. He's pushing so hard to try and chase down the lead of Fairclough that he's ended up with a 5-second penalty, so he needs to push on now. He's going to drop down some places. Not too many places by the looks of it, because it is all spread out, but yeah, real shame for Campbell Pilling. After all this pace that he's had, he's just not been able to get the results that he deserves.
That's a shame. He had a penalty, a 10-second penalty yesterday for a very slightly jump start, just slightly misjudged. Big
slipstream there. I don't know what's happened here, but we've got Seaworthen going alongside Pulling there. Pulling was all over the back of the CDR car of Harrison, but Harrison's now pulled away, so I'm not sure exactly what's happened, but it looks like we've got some real pace now from Seaworthen. Pulling's just closing that gap. I'm not sure whether she's leaving enough space there, but yeah, she's got every right to defend. It's just a case of not over-defending and slowing them down too much, but Pulling's definitely lost a lot of pace by the looks of things. Seaworthen is all over the back of her gearbox.
Yeah, not good in the Rodin camp at the moment. We've got Ninovic 4th, Sherwood in 5th position, and you know, we would have probably expected them to have more podiums than we've seen from them so far this year. It just hasn't fallen to them for whatever reason. Let's see whether Pulling can
She's definitely got an issue there.
She has got an issue. Goes across, defends to the inside, into the hairpin, and Rez goes to the outside. We've got Sway coming up as well.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's just halfway down that straight, she just loses a lot of pace. Now, I know that Ninovic had an issue in race 2 this weekend where he had a mechanical, and that caused the red flag. But yeah, there's something not quite right, I'm sure of it. There's definitely some issue. We'll have another look on this next lap. A big lock-up from Pulling as she goes into turn 3 there, and managed to collect it quite nicely. Still gapped Seaworthen there, but yeah, as you can see, good run through the chicane. Let's just see how much he closes up again. As he comes through Clark, he gets a good run normally through here, and it's just a case of seeing what happens when she gets to about halfway down the straight. It's not as obvious this time because we're a bit further back on the onboard, but yeah, maybe it was just a case of a very good slipstream, but to me it looked like more of an issue.
It's the incident where we had Max Dodds having a go here at it's Nina Gateman actually trying to overtake Max Dodds, isn't it? So Gateman trying to come back at Doddsy. Doesn't play out, but Nina is really gunning for it, whatever places is happening. It's Carter coming back to racing this year as we go to race leader Deagen Fairclough. He's actually only 3 seconds clear of Campbell Pilling. I say only, it's a big gap, but he's kind of settled into a little bit of a rhythm and seems happy with that gap.
That is going to move Molnar up to P2, and I think even Ninovic will go up to P3. But we've got a few more track limits here. We've got Campbell Pilling, as we know. We've got Skula and Dodds also on a 5-second penalty. So yeah, they've obviously gone over the green and triggered the track limits. But let's just see now, back on the onboard car of the Hitech of Reza Seaworthen. Now you can see the slipstream is just starting to come into effect as you get halfway down the straight, which is just too late because oh, is it too late? Is he going to try and get on the inside? It's obviously a very short, long, it's a short break going into turn one, so it's very difficult to pass there. It's all about trying to set yourself up for the last corner into the hairpin. You've got to try and get the run through the chicane, through Clark, and make sure you're close enough to lunge down the inside.
And he had the gap there, didn't he, over Sway, and Sway is very much closer to him now, so he might have to think twice about what he does. But this is what Phil was talking about, building up to this point on the circuit, coming through Railway Straight, which is effectively a little bit of a curve at the start of it. Too far back to do anything about Abby pulling. She has got a problem. She's managing it very well indeed at the moment. Look how close Reza gets there. He is right under the rear wing of the car in front. All of this is for 7th position. Harrison in 6th ahead of them. Martin Molnar, by the way, is on for a personal best. 2nd place here with the time penalty to Rowan Campbell-Pilling. So we were hoping to see Rowan get it, but we're going to see Virtuosi up in P2 here. And Martin's best result of the season so far. I think the leader's just gone on to the last lap, we're being told. Possibly one more to squeeze in. As we look at Abby putting up a real fight here. Both of these drivers have entertained us royally through this 20 minutes.
Yeah, they certainly have, and you can see that Seawortham was a little bit closer there. We've got number 17 has also got a penalty. So yeah, no, that is dodge, we already knew about. That's 10 seconds now. That's not great for the Virtuosi driver. But yeah, this has been entertaining. We've got 7 seconds left. We get one more lap, I think, and we'll see if the Hitech car can battle past the Rodin car of Pulling.
Yeah, forming a queue behind this now. Such is the way that racing like this tends to unfold. But Deagen Fairclough looking for win number 9 and will extend the championship lead again. And the man nearest to him in the title race is in 4th place, Alex Ninovic. So it's Fairclough, Campbell-Pilling, Molnar, Ninovic. I think Ninovic might get a podium here. He will, won't he? He'll move up from 4th to 3rd with the timing as we come up to take the checkered flag. And it is Deagen Fairclough that takes the win. Martin Molnar will be following on adjusted time. Campbell-Pilling crosses the line 2nd, but Molnar gets promoted to 2nd with the penalty. Alex Ninovic completes the podium on the clock, and here's the battle, and Rez just can't deal with Abby Pulling.
No, I thought he was going to go for a move, a last lap lunge down the inside, but he decided better of it, take the points for 8th. He's had 2 4ths and an 8th this weekend, so pretty good points. But yeah, it's a great battle all the way through for those two guys for 7th and 8th.
2 more really good events to come for F4. We go to Donington. I think we get there's the JHR team boss. I said we've got 2 more really good events to come. The great thing, I love Donington GP for me last year was better than the national round. That extra loop just seems to have a couple of extra passing positions. I think, are we having the race from the first Donington there as well?
I believe so, yeah.
There was talk about it. It's not on the timetable that I've seen, the provisional timetable, but it'd be really great. Fingers crossed that we get an extra F4 race on the Saturday at Donington Park. But nobody can do anything about this man, Deagen Fairclough, who grabs another race win in this superb campaign that he's putting together with the Hitech team. Fairclough takes the win. Martin Molnar, best ever result and the rookie class win for the youngster there. Alex Ninovic in 3rd place from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Consolation for him is 2nd place in the rookies. Jack Sherwood next. Bart Harrison takes 6th, again equaling his best. Abby Pulling 7th after a great drive. Same for Reza Seawortham. Johan Sway is in 9th place, 4th in the rookies. Leo Robinson, race 2 winner, takes 10th.